Hello, AK-47 here. Today we will find Family Relations of Dr. Stone series, which is a Japanese manga series written by Riichiro Inagaki and illustrated by the South Korean artist Boy Chi. First we will see the characters which live in Ishigami village. It is a small community in the stone world. They have ancestors which were part of the International Space Station, which was a space station, or a habitable artificial satellite, in low Earth orbit. Kahaku, she is a young woman who is a descendant of modern humans. She is one of the protagonists of the series. His father Kokuyo was the previous chief of Ishigami village before Senku, and her mother is unknown. Kahaku has an elder sister Ruri. She is also descendant of modern-day humans, and serves as the priestess in Ishigami village. Tetsuken is a member of Ishigami village. He is usually shown holding a spear, and as a village guard he is probably proficient despite never having been shown using it. He is married to Shirogane. She is also villager of Ishigami village. Together they have two sons. Kinro, he originally have served as one of the guards of Ishigami village, and his brother Jinro, he is one of the village guards. Natri, he is the traditional wise old man, giving his opinion on things and commenting on the weather. He is married to Alumi, and together they have a son Carbo, who is married to Beryl. Sagan, he is a serious man that takes pride in himself or his work and is willing to cooperate with people without judgment. He is married to En, and together they have a son Ganon, who loves food. Suka, she is a descendant of modern humans and an inhabitant of Ishigami village. She's one of the main protagonists of Dr. Stone. She has two pets, Chalk and Sagra. Sho, he is a particularly skilled fisherman, who catches enough fish to feed the whole town. He is married to Sango. Alabaster was first introduced on a boat with a wicker basket full of small fish. It's likely he's somehow involved with the village's fishing, boating or transport, as are most of the men. He is married to Did. Together they have three daughters, Ruby, Sapphire and Garnet. There are other characters whose families aren't mentioned. Jasper, he serves as a guard for the village's priestess. Turquoise, she serves as one of Ruri's guards alongside Jasper. Genbu, who first appears after Senku becomes the new village chief. Magma, is known for being one of the strongest warriors of all the village. Hagane, is only shown in the Grand Bout flashback from several months before Senku came to the village. In it, he fights against Magma in the semi-finals and loses after being unable to stop a powerful swing from him. Argo, his combat ability is strong, with Kahaku ranking him between A and S, and his fighting style is more about power than speed. Kaseki is the artisan of Ishigami village, with expert skill and precision formed by his numerous years of experience as a craftsman. He is a key member of the Kingdom of Science, responsible for creating many of their scientific inventions. Titan, he never appears in the manga, however in the anime he is shown at several points. He is first introduced alongside Alabaster in the log canoes with wicker pots filled with fish. Suzu does not appear in the manga at all, apart from her character introduction. Soyuz is a former member of Ishigami village and the long-lost son of the leader of the Petrification kingdom. After Ibra's defeat, Soyuz claimed his rightful place as the leader of the Petrification kingdom. Unmo is jovial and ready to celebrate at all times. Similarly to Ganon and Genbu, he is usually found near Ganon and the alcohol containers. Shovel is very energetic and is frequently in the middle of any action happening in the village. She makes sure to pass along any news as quickly as possible to the others, such as the outsiders' arrival and the subsequent destruction of the bridge for the magnet. Chrome, he is the alleged sorcerer, eventually scientist of Ishigami village and Senku's friend, originally a rival. He grew close to Senku as the depetrified human who taught him the art of science. He is one of the protagonists of the series. Azura, she tends to be a little shyer than some of the other villagers but no less curious about things. Kujaku was shown helping sort mushrooms with the other women. She also helps pump the bellows for the iron furnace. Moving on, let's check the members of Kingdom of Science. Senku Ishigami is the main protagonist of Dr. Stone. He is known for his catchphrases, one of which is, 10 billion%. He was depetrified half a year before Taiju was, and eventually created the revival fluid with Taiju's help. In the stone world, Senku rebuilds civilization and establish a kingdom of science and is the leader of it. His adoptive father Byakuya Ishigami, he was an astronaut residing on the International Space Station in space when the mass petrification on Earth's surface occurred, and the founder of Ishigami Village. Senku Ishigami was married to Ruri. Taiju Oki is one of the protagonists of Dr. Stone. He was depetrified on October 5, 5738 AD. Together with Senku, he nobly aspires to rebuild the lost human civilization by depetrifying everyone caught in the phenomenon that happened 3,700 years ago. He has unnamed parents. Ryujui Nanami is the son of the owner of Nanami Conglomerate and a major character in Dr. Stone. He was revived by Senku for his expertise in sailing. His skills at navigating by sea or air makes him indispensable as one of the 5 wise generals of the Kingdom of Science. He is also a member of the crafting and development team. His parents are unnamed. Tsukasa Shishio is the former primary antagonist of Dr. Stone. He was the antagonist of the first several arcs, his goal being to thin out the human population in order to create a new world without modern technology for the pure-hearted. He has a younger sister Mirai Shishio. Luna Wright is one of the former residents of the American colony. Always wishing for an intelligent boyfriend, she becomes enamored with Senku's smarts and character, shifting allegiance to the Kingdom of Science. She has unnamed parents. Yuzuriha Ogawa is the love interest of Taiju Oki and a friend of Senku Ishigami. She was depetrified in 5739 AD. Gen Asajiri is an enemy-turned-ally of Senku, originally depetrified by Tsukasa Shishio. He was sent to find Senku, only to defect to the Kingdom of Science. Nikki Hanada is a survivor that was revived by Tsukasa. She later defected from the Tsukasa Empire and joined the Kingdom of Science. Yukio Sionji is a modern-day survivor who was revived by Tsukasa Shishio. He is one of the 5 wise generals of the Kingdom of Science. Minami Hakutozai is a pre-petrification human and a former reporter, originally a member of the Tsukasa Empire. She later joins and helps the Kingdom of Science. Yo Uei is a pre-petrification human and former policeman, originally a member of the Tsukasa Empire. He faked his death after Chrome's escape to avoid the blame, then eventually joins the Kingdom of Science after the Stone Wars were over. Tetsuya Kinomoto, or Mr. Mangaka, is a modern member of the Kingdom of Science. Prior to the petrification, he was formerly a mangaka artist. He now draws for the Kingdom of Science and isn't very good at anything other than drawing. Francois is Ryujui's faithful and extremely talented butler whose services were well sought out and coveted before the petrification. Kirisame is one of the 2 strongest warriors in the Petrification Kingdom. She is now a member of the Kingdom of Science, replacing Soyuz after he decided to stay behind at the end of the Treasure Island arc. Maz is the 2nd strongest warriors in the Petrification Kingdom. He was the secondary antagonist of the Treasure Island arc. After Ibra's defeat, Maz was revived by the Kingdom of Science in the behest of Hyoga. Matsukaze is a warrior from the Petrification Kingdom. He was later revived by the Kingdom of Science, and joined them to act as a bodyguard to Jinro due to his resemblance to his late master. Hyoga is a modern-time survivor who was revived by Tsukasa Shishio, initially an elite member of the Tsukasa Empire. Since depetrified by Tsukasa, he ultimately betrays him by attempting to take over his leadership and threatens Senku into joining. only to be defeated by the duo in the decisive battle for the Kingdom of Science. Hamura Momiji, she acts as the right-hand woman of Hyoga in Tsukasa's army. Along with Hyoga, she eventually becomes a member of the Kingdom of Science. Carlos Barrios is one of the former resident of the American colony and current member of the Kingdom of Science. He works as a driver for Luna and the Kos on occasions. Max Adams is one of the former residents of the American colony and current member of the Kingdom of Science. He works as a bodyguard to Luna. Chelsea Child is a geographer that was found alone in North America. And Joel, she is a watchmaker that was found in North America. Moving on to the Petrification Kingdom, which is located on Treasure Island, it is inhabited by the descendants of the International Space Station crew. The head of the Petrification Kingdom, or simply the head, was the ruler of the Petrification Kingdom of the Treasure Island tribe. He has an unnamed wife. Together they have a son Soyuz. Amaryllis is a member of the Petrification Kingdom, a tribe of people who live on Treasure Island. She later joined Senku in his quest to defeat Ibra. Ibra is the former minister of the Petrification Kingdom and the main antagonist of the Treasure Island arc. Orashi is a warrior of the Petrification Kingdom. He's considered to be one of the most powerful people on the island. The Tsukasa Empire, or the Empire of Might, was a civilization made up of pre-petrification humans revived by Tsukasa Shishio. Moving on to the American colony, which is a group of pre-petrification Americans brought together by Dr. Zeno. Dr. Zeno Houston Wingfield is a scientist and the leader of the American colony. He is the main antagonist of the New America City arc and an uneasy ally to Senku in the South America arc. Stanley Snyder is an ex-military officer currently working for Dr. Zeno. Maya Biggs is a modern human who is a member of the American colony, who serves as a soldier to Dr. Zeno. Brody Dudley serves as a mechanic to Dr. Zeno. Charlotte Boney. She appears to idolize Stanley Snyder and is rarely shown far from him. Leonard Maxwell is one of Stanley Snyder's men. He operates the radar and any other communication technology in Stanley's unit. Moving on to International Space Station crew. Lillian Weinberg, she was a famous American songstress and NASA astronaut that boarded the International Space Station alongside Senku's father, Byakuya Ishigami, and witnessed the petrification of all human life on Earth's surface. She had unnamed parents. Connie Lee. Connie was an American astronaut aboard the International Space Station alongside cosmonauts Daria Nikitina and Yakov Nikitin. She also witnessed the petrification of all human life on Earth's surface from the ISS. She was married to Shamil Volkov. He was a Soyuz pilot on board the International Space Station. Daria Nikitina, she was a doctor on the International Space Station on board alongside her husband, Yakov Nikitin. While in space, they both witnessed the petrification of all human life on Earth's surface. That was all in Dr. Stone. Thanks for watching. Comment down your favorite character and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.